So our first question is, what do you think of HS2?
I think HS2 has been badly designed in terms of its business case, and I don't think the compensation that has been offered to people who are affected by it is sufficient, and I don't think that the route that's been chosen is the right one. I'm not against HS2 in principle. I think that improving infrastructure between London and Birmingham and Manchester and further north is a good thing. But I don't think that the way it's been put together has been the best way to put it together, and that is why in, I think it was 2013, I voted against the bill to build the HS2 business case.
So what sort of compensation will the houses that are being obviously destroyed by it, what sort of compensation do they get?
Well, if your house is effectively demolished, or if it is made unlivable, then you would have it compulsorily purchased, and there are all sorts of pieces of legislation already in place for that. You get the value of the house, the market value of the house, plus a little bit more. If, however, you're not on the direct route, but effectively your home is made unlivable or unsaleable, there are things in the legislation such as exceptional hardship funds need to sell, which enable people to sell their home to HS2 at a market rate plus a further percentage for compensation in order that they can move. My problem with that was that it was very difficult initially for a lot of people who've got very good reasons for needing to move and sell their homes to get access to the exceptional hardship fund. And I think that was one example of how, if you like, the infrastructure, the toolkit of HS2 just wasn't in place to deal with the tsunami of concern that resulted from the announcement to build the railway by the Gordon Brown government back in 2010.
So, like, say for a company, so like, was it Packington Hall?
Packington Royal Farm, yeah.
Yeah, what sort of compensation do they, because they're like a company, aren't they? Like, yeah, after weddings.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to go into exactly what their compensation package was, because that's for John Barnes to discuss. It's a private business matter. But John and people in that part of the constituency, Flats Lane near Weeford, they had a real devil of a time trying to get HS2 to engage with them, to explain how their business worked. So, for example, although a lot of the buildings on the farm were being demolished, the bit that wasn't being demolished was where most of the business was done, where the value in the business was done. And I think there was some question, first of all, as to whether the compensation for John and his family should be focused on what was being demolished, but which wasn't actually that valuable, or the bit which was being retained, but was valuable. But still, it meant the whole estate was, not able to operate as a farm and a wedding venue and those things. So, I think there were lots of problems that John and his family and other people who farm locally or have homes locally experienced, and which HS2 just wasn't ready for, and the legislation just wasn't ready for when those people came to be faced with the prospect of HS2.
So if you could describe HS2 in a phrase or one word, what would it be and why?
I would describe HS2 as big and bold and very, very damaging to a lot of people stuck in its path. It's like a train coming down the track, and the track is being built through people's homes, and it's not been thought through as well as it should have been.
So, like, how many estimated jobs would it create, like the local areas, like Birmingham around here?
Well, I think it will go into Curzon Street. It probably will create more business in that area initially. There's a risk that it will suck business down to London. We need to try to guard against that. I think as time goes on, Birmingham is demonstrating that it is going to be a strong second city of the United Kingdom. A lot of businesses, HSBC, for example, are going to base themselves in Birmingham. But in the immediate vicinity, Tamworth, I am not convinced it is going to build any new jobs. Now, that's not to say it won't, it's not to say it can't. We've got to try and make the best of it because it's coming. But as yet, I've not seen any local businesses setting up in Tamworth or Lichfield because of HS2.
So where in the local area will HS2 be running on? What sort of route will it be?
It will. It runs north-south. It skirts Lichfield. So in our part of the world, it will go through Drayton Bassett, up across the Sutton Road, through Hints. Then it cuts across the old A5, goes through Weeford and Flatslade, then up through Whittington, demolishes the golf course clubhouse on the way, and then heads up further north to join the West Coast main line north of Lichfield. And it's happening. We have to accept that. But I think had it gone around Birmingham, on the other side of Birmingham, the west side of Birmingham, had it gone to Crewe, that would have been a much better route to create an interchange in the north. It would have gone through more brownfield sites, and it would have been a better business case proposition than the one that was eventually decided upon.
That's it.
Done?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well done, mate.